Welcome to Synagogues of Pennsylvania, Part 10. In this episode, we look at towns whose names begin with the letters F through J. Our first stop is in Feasterville. You're looking at what used to be Congregation Beth Chaim and is now a church. The story behind the story is the classic case of Sinas Chinam, which is Hebrew for spite. When it closed, it had 165 members, and the building had been in use for close to 50 years. At the same time that they would be closing the synagogue, they agreed to a merger with a conservative synagogue about 4 miles away in northeast Philadelphia. The spite comes into play when an Orthodox congregation in northeast Philadelphia wanted to buy the building. To have a foothold in this area, they were given a resounding no that they couldn't even bid on the building. Some members despised the concept of an Orthodox synagogue to such a great extent. It was the few who ruined a good opportunity, and now the building is a church. By the way, this is the organization that wanted to buy that building, Congregation Beth Solomon. It is Orthodox in practice and reaches out to the Russian-speaking Jewish community. Our next stop is in Fort Washington, where there are 2 Jewish houses of worship. The first is Chabad Lubavitch Jewish Community of Montgomery County. Its director is Rabbi Shaya Deitch, and its assistant rabbi is Zusha Gurovitz. Fort Washington is the headquarters, directed by Rabbi Deitch. In Rydell, Pennsylvania, the direction is under Rabbi Zusha Gurovitz, and in Lafayette Hill, it is Rabbi Shuli Kotlarski. The next Jewish house of worship in Fort Washington is Or Chadash, a Reconstructionist synagogue. Due to Street View restrictions, we can only give you an overhead of its approximate location. Its rabbi is Joshua Waxman. Shabbat services are held both Friday evenings and Saturday mornings. The congregation was founded in 1983 by 6 families. An open house drew 100 inquisitive families, and 65 families joined up. This location was dedicated in 1995. Hanover, PA is home to the Hanover Hebrew congregation and has been so since 1941. It brands itself as one of the smallest synagogues in America. It is not to be confused with another place of worship that calls itself the Hanover Congregation. That facility is a Jews for Jesus operation. This is all the information we have on this synagogue. Our next stop also requires an overhead shot. It is Congregation Beth Israel in Honesdale. It is along the shores of the Lackawaxen River. This Reformed synagogue is led by Rabbi Elliot Kleinman. The congregation was formed in 1849. Our next house of worship is Congregation Emmanuel Israel in Greensburg, Pennsylvania. It is a Reformed synagogue. Services are not always a guarantee, especially during the summer. It is always recommended to call the office to find out this published schedule. This is Congregation Beth Israel in Indiana, Pennsylvania. It is a conservative synagogue. Inasmuch as that it is a social media butterfly, this is all the information we have regarding this congregation. Which brings us back to where we started with the final leg of this tour. No, not the geographical location, but the circumstance. Here we're looking at, in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, another closed synagogue, Beth Shalom, which was a Reformed temple. This was a mill town who's seen its industry move out of the country, and along with it, the younger generations to other cities. And with that, this ends this tour. There are still more synagogues in Pennsylvania to view. Therefore, bye for now. See you real soon.